The Paradox of Onyx. This is a letter to the king of color, maybe even a queen. One that's been hated for centuries but whose soul refuses to die, if you know what I mean. Breathwork while hanging by a needle and thread, feeding her lies because most people wanted her dead. But for the most part, kept her cool, temporarily out of control, despite everyone wanting a white Christmas and it being a bad sign if you receive coal. She dyes every other color she comes into contact with as a shade of her own. She's strong. Taken on so much pain she deserves a throne. Stained with crimson, marked with maroon from past lives, each collecting stab wounds. But crowned now with gold, laced with silver. Her history proving her durability. From the times of Rosa, who decided to take a stand by not standing, to MLK preaching peace in the streets that echoed screeches while brothers bleed, being blown to pieces by police in their pieces. Forcing the outcome of Malcolm when we factor in the equation, they believe our melanin is a felon in our genes. So the same people who brought us here now want us to leave. Creating hostile situations like Trayvon Martin shot in the heart and the illiterate Harriet going underground like Onyx in a time way before Hooked on Phonics. Imagine the boldness and fear. Haunted by Haunter and hunted by Houndoom until the slave master could get a Pikachu and turn you to ash, wearing their red hats as they relentlessly trying to catch them all before they make it up north. Time and time again, this country has dropped the ball. Constant murder. Like a flock of crows, Uncle Sam usually sends Jim out there to take care of those, but sometimes it's easier for the passel of pigs to be the ones assigned to dispose because they can pass their treachery with the white jury that'll deem them innocent and then case closed. They blame the genocide on the wrong red and blue. I mean, I get it. There's truth to that too. But the bloodshed of Bloods and crippling of Crips has its own roots, and that's due to the pigs mentioned earlier that sport the same colors. They're a huge percentage behind the reason of crying mothers. People in pointed white hoods trying to subtract neighbors in the name of God. Please explain the logic. It's twisted scripture. Always been. Don't need to be a theologian to spot it. But that's one of the millions of skeletons hidden in their closet. We like lab rats to them. That's why they call it projects. They planted seeds in us. That was the beginning of the sequel. What sprouted later became niggas hating their own people over darkest skin. As if a house nigga being a slave inside instead of out was a better spin. Getting called all kinds of names. They held us prisoners on ships in tight places. They raped our women and killed off many of our men without traces. They even hacked loogies for they spit in our faces. Yet America still can't admit we are swarmed with white races. Speak up and your voice gets swallowed, lost in the wind. A stab in the back, a bullet to the chest, a police kick to the shin. We've been at this for years, we've shed tears. Crazy how we still can't win. Even more crazy, how the darkest of people got the lightest of skin.